Raised it. Welcome to the NS9 Postgame Show powered by Primanti Brothers. I am your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Neil. Neil, we have one of the greatest victories I've ever seen in my life. No hyperbole. It's the best win I've ever seen. What's up?
Not much. Best win since the Reds comeback last year.
There it is.
Yeah. I was running around my room with the Reds comeback. I wasn't quite doing that, but I was, fist bumping myself, or I was getting really hyped. So what a win! What a win!
Absolutely a great win. Absolutely. I was ready to end this post game as quickly as I could because, oh boy, here we go. What are the talking points we're going to make? And now that's all erased. Yep. They come back down 6-2 in the ninth, in the bottom of the ninth to tie it up. We'll talk about the craziness about Oneil Cruz soon. And then they go into extras, and Bednar does his job, holds them to 0 runs. And then Nicky G comes in and just continues to do what Nicky G's been doing. Mm-hmm. Gets another RBI, walk off, wins the game. Pirates win 7-6 today, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was dreading it. Like I got to the 7th inning. I'm like, I have to be on tonight's post game. I went and did some chores. I came back for the 9th, and then people got on base. I'm like, all right, this is fun, I guess. Jack Sawinski, Osman Grandal, good job. And then the drop double play happens, and you're like, oh, now I'm getting invested. And then, Oneil Cruz is a special man. What a special player.
Absolutely. Neil, I just a peek behind the curtains. We have to set up the show beforehand, so we get here going on, and I have the title already. Pirates drop the ball, lose to the Giants 6-2, whatever it was, right? And you're just sitting there, it's like, oh, well, there's a run, 6-3. At least they don't go down totally defeated. And now it's 6-4. Yes. Now it's 6-5. Whoa, Oneil Cruz is up. What's going to happen? And 121.5 miles off the bat. Mm-hmm. Neil, 2 times Oneil Cruz broke the record today. The record, but the hardest hit baseball in Major League. 120.4 and then 121.5. Ties the game. 3 hits tonight for Oneil Cruz. Man.
The ball just flies off his bat so effortlessly. They were talking about on the broadcast where his first hit was hit so hard that it prevented him from getting a double. Just because where it hit. He hit the ball 120 miles an hour into the corner, and the right fielder had the ball before he reached first base.
Yeah. We're in the Oneil Cruz hits the ball too hard territory. He's too good.
Yeah. And his May has just been something else. A lot of people were saying he was, I think ever since the Gregory Polanco comparison, he has been by far the best player on this team.
Yeah, there's the Jordan. I took that personal meme right there.
Yeah. Because, we do forget that he was he missed a year, and it's a results-based business. But I think everyone can see how he's growing into the season.
For sure. So before we get any further, just to mention, BetOnline is your #1 source for NBA and NHL playoffs this season. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to their online casino and get in on the game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of over 150 slot games. Head to the website today, get in on the action. Don't forget to use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts here. Neil, let's just go from the very beginning, right? I mean, Logan Webb's taken the mound for the Giants. He's been very, very good this year. Martin Perez taking the mound for the Pirates. And, he actually has been pretty good too. Now, as of recent, not as strong as he's been in the past. And you have to just say it. We're going to go here now. That way we can continue and build off of this and talk good about him more later again. But, Jack Swinsky, Oneil Cruz, don't know what's going on in the outfield. Oneil Cruz drops the pop-up essentially.
Yeah.
2 unearned runs for Martin Perez, who was struggling. He had a high pitch count that first inning, but should have escaped it. And again, it's 2-0 there. Yeah, that started things off not too good, down 2-0 with Logan Webb pitching. You're thinking, oh boy, this is going to be kind of tough to come back from. But I want to say the Pirates were not, they weren't overmatched by Logan Webb. I'll say that. They're hitting the ball pretty hard all game long.
I said this in the Discord, but I really feel like they were really unlucky against Logan Webb, because watching them take those at bats, that was some of the best process I've seen from the bats collectively this year against a really good pitcher. They were being aggressive. They were hitting the ball hard. That wasn't on the ground. I think it was the 4th inning where you had those back-to-back line drives that went straight to Luciano from Gonzales and Sawinski. And I was saying, I was about to get on here the post game before, we came back and said, I will take this process for the rest of the season. But no, the bats finally came through. But I really don't think we were that bad against Webb tonight.
No, I agree with that.
It felt like we should have scored more than 2 runs.
Well, that's a feeling almost every game from this team. However, tonight it was legit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I do want to say that this didn't come out looking like they should be down 6-2 theoretically. And again, 2 of those runs should never have even occurred.
Yeah.
So this game really seemed like a much closer game than what it appeared. It ended up being 8.5 innings into it. But like I said, I definitely wanted to point that out. They were hitting the ball very, very hard, very well on Logan Webb. And as pointed out here in the comments as well, Luciano was just eating everything up at shortstop. I mean, I could why was that guy at every position needed to be? This reminded me of the 2013 Pittsburgh Pirates, where defensive shifting was still a thing. And it's this guy was everywhere you needed him to be. And then if he wasn't, he just became there. What a great defensive performance by him as well. That, again, really backed up Logan Webb's performance tonight.
Yeah. Logan Webb got really good defense from his players. Martin Perez, I have my issues with him, but yeah, 2 runs. Probably you can even argue he makes it to a 6th inning if he doesn't have to pitch an extra 10 pitches in the first.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, I liked what I have not been so positive about what the Pirates bats have been doing all season. So I think it's something to build off of.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I guess with Martin Perez, what's ironic about him is he starts off the season as essentially your number 2 starter behind Mitch Keller. And he looks very strong, very good, for the signing, what he's to be and such. You can't say much negative about him. And again, the past 3 starts haven't been as strong. Today, again, I felt like he pitched better than the numbers support, more or less, but it still wasn't that great. But he is essentially this team's 5th starter at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you are talking about Paul Skeens, Jared Jones, Mitch Keller, and by God, I don't know how I'm saying this today. It is May 21st, 2024, and I'm about to say Bailey Falter's your very, very solid number 4 in this rotation, which really, again, makes Martin Perez your 5th. If he's going to go out there and more or less give you some innings in what he's done this year, again, this rotation is so strong.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Martin Perez, again, it wasn't great today, but it wasn't as bad as it looked either.
Well, and I think my big issue with Martin Perez is that he was kind of brought in and he was advertised as this big innings eater type of guy, but he hasn't really shown the ability to like eat innings. He hasn't gone past the fifth inning very often, and like his play style gives up so many base hits that he's forced to throw so many pitches. But like I said, if he was the second starter, that would be a huge problem. This team would be even in a worse spot than they already are. But as a fifth starter, you can live with it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you can live with it until until ji-hwan returns.
Yeah, right. But I mean, again, what you said is true. You do want him to go deeper. However, of course, the defense didn't allow him to go deeper. But he does go today, 4.1, has the 2 earned, 4 strikeouts. Of course, the home run he did give up 3 walks, and that's what was giving him some trouble early on. He said that pitch count got really high that one inning. I mean, he would have had 3 guys in a 3-2 count that inning. And again, like he danced around. He got out some things, and that big error allowed 2 runs, gave him 4 runs in his outing. Again, only 2 earned, but yeah, like he to me, he easily could have gone 5+ today if it was a normal game played with regular, typical, normal defense.
Yeah, and it sucks that that he couldn't go longer, and Ortiz really had to put in a shift today, but. Yeah, like I wish that we could have gone and gotten a better starter with some of the money that we used in the offseason. But overall, it's fine. Like, we won today's game. And Martin Perez, like all our starters, kept us in the game.
Yeah.
Martin Perez has kept us in pretty much every game except the Brewers game.
Right.
So,
and again, I agree with that. And if that's your number 5 star at this point in time, you can't ask for too much at all.
Yeah.
Hopefully more innings. But
he's performing better than Rich Hill on Rich Hill.
Oh yeah.
So
for sure.
you're seeing the return on the investment, but I am kind of missing Marco Gonzales a little bit.
Well, you say that now.
Yeah.
But that's part of the thing with Marco Gonzales is you usually miss Marco Gonzales. At any rate, though, I mean, like you said, just back to this game, the bats were kind of there. I do want to say something. It's kind of funny. So Kutch lead off, right? I've been hyping up Kutch, right? He goes 2 for 5 today. I don't know what's happening with Kutch. And I say this because I've been hyping him up. He's had such terrible luck. Look how good he's hitting the ball. And he's getting absolutely lucky now.
Yeah.
There's a couple times. I mean, there's been like a handful of times these past few series where he's been on base and he had like no business because of just poor, terrible defense or whatever. But hey, when you get bad luck, you get good luck. Things even out. He starts and leadoff, goes 2 for 5 today. Has, of course, the big RBI as well at the end there. And yeah, like Oneil Cruz 3 for 5, 2 for 4 for Nicky G. Just to keep continuing talking about Nick Gonzales. I mean, that guy has been looking very, very good. And then I got to say it again, like 1 for 4 for Yasmani Grandal. He's been clutch so far this year. He's not a great hitter. He hasn't been a great hitter. He's been good enough. He's been better, I think, than most people probably anticipated. But if anything, he's been clutch.
Yeah, except I think running a little bit might have completely destroyed his body tonight. He exited the game. Like he had the run around he had the run from like 2 seconds, and then he had to score. And I think that was too much for his body because you left the game injured, right?
He might need to hit the IL. Henry Davis, who homered again tonight, he's got to come back up. Grandal had to run all the way across home plate.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't like his defense, but the bat has been way more than I ever expected. Because when the signing happened, all I could do was look at his numbers since 2019, and the numbers aren't good. And it's a very small sample size, but an 800 OPS is welcome on this team anywhere.
Oh, for sure. So yeah, man, like do you just want to talk about the 9th inning at this point?
Yeah, I mean,
unless anything else you want to talk about, and I guess you know what, before we get there, let's talk about some of these relievers as well. is where that's going to get dropped down a little bit negative, guys. Hang with us. Cal Nicholas. I have my beef with Cal Nicholas and on this team, and I'm not going to draw this one out, but this is why the Rowanzy DFA did shock me. I assumed they were going to keep him on to have the depth. He hasn't. Has he been good? No. But like, has he just completely lost games for this team and blew up? Also, no, in my mind. Cal Nicholas is like that guy who can do it. And like, you see reasons, and you saw the Cubs game where he walked 13 batters, I feel like, in one inning. And today it was starting to go there as well. I mean, this guy just can't find the strike zone. When he does find the strike zone, his stuff is filthy. It just seems as if he can't find the strike zone, and that's his problem. And you saw more of it tonight. And like this game felt like it was about to escape them even further. Luckily, it came together. Nicholas only had one run allowed on him. But yeah, I've never really been quite the believer in him. If there's going to be a role, it was going to be in relief. And it hasn't been pretty. And we're talking about even about in AAA. Like, it just has not been good for him this year.
Yeah, he's kind of the Colin Selby of this year's team, isn't he? Really objectively nice stuff, but he really can't throw strikes, you know?
Right.
It stinks because, like, the Pirates have had several guys like this, you know, like I think of ji-hwan Ramirez and I think of Colin Selby. Now, Kyle Nicholas is kind of on that same trajectory of guys with really good stuff but cannot locate it to save their lives.
Yeah. Yep. And then to work backwards, when Perez came out, Luis Ortiz did come in. And Luis Ortiz has had like this now at this point in time, right? Like, I feel there's enough sample size. Looking back at Luis Ortiz in his role and what he's done this year, like it's a 3.08, it's a 3.08 ERA.
Mm-hmm.
He's performed and the numbers are there, but I feel like every time he's out there, I'm just like, oof. Is that how you feel? And like today was more of that. And he goes 2.2, gives up 1. Like that doesn't hurt your team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a ton of hard hits. It never looks good, I feel like, with Luis Ortiz.
I'm just at peace with what Luis Ortiz is.
Okay.
And I think he's good in this role where you need to bridge the gap to the actual bullpen. You need these 2 innings, you need 3 innings. And I think he does that job just fine. You know, like you're right, the hard contact means he probably just won't be able to be a starter. But even with the hard contact, it was happening last year. His sinker still got outs. He is still a productive member of the bullpen, doing a pretty thankless job.
Yeah.
So, like, I have no problems with Luis Ortiz because you're not going to get a superstar in the role that he's playing. And I think he has saved our hides multiple times over the course of the season just by pitching us out of hairy situations.
So, like, I agree with all that. But what I also feel is I'm not sure how long that's going to last. Like, I feel uncomfortable with how he's performed, if that makes sense. And also, in another sense, it's like Luis Ortiz wasn't supposed to go from the guy that throws 100 and holy hell, he could be a middle guy rotation to, you know what, he does a thankless job in the bullpen. That's kind of disappointing itself. And again, not to go too far down that route, but just talking about it, like the strikeouts really aren't there. He's still walking guys. I mean, granted, like what's funny too is he's giving up a ton of hard contact, but he actually isn't allowed. He only has 1 home run on the year in 26.1 innings. You feel like he should have 6 or 7 by now, the way guys tee up on him, if that makes sense. But yeah, like I just kind of feel uneasy with him, but he has done the job. And today, again, like this is kind of a backwards compliment to him, but kudos to him. Like he did the job. 2.2 innings, only allowed 1 run. The Pirates still somewhat in the game.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, at that point in time, what the worry is the offense can come back from a 5-2 lead, not if Luis Ortiz needs to give up less than 1 run. You know, I think over 3 innings of work, 1 run, against the Giants team that was seeing the ball pretty well today, I think that's mostly fine. But you're right. The hard contact is very much an issue, and it's always going to limit him, I think, permanently from becoming like an actual starter. But, it kind of makes sense because remember, he was like a no-name guy for most of his minor league career. So I think in hindsight, it's pretty impressive that he has a major league career to begin with.
Yeah. Agree. Okay, so we talk about the relievers. Do we want to get to the 9th inning here? How exciting was that, Neil?
The 9th inning was awesome.
This team was down 6-2. We are talking about the 2024 Pittsburgh Pirates. We are talking about the team that we've talked over and over again that at one point was down to a 61 weighted runs created plus over a month span. This team couldn't hit with runners in scoring position at all. They couldn't hit with 2 strikes. Well, they just couldn't hit, period, for the most part. And so now they're down 6-2, and the Giants weren't messing around. I mean, they allowed a base runner on, then they warmed up the closer. The closer comes in, Dotel comes in, and he's throwing kind of wild here. And the Pirates are capitalizing, and they made it 6-6 in the bottom of the 9th, down 4 runs, tie this thing up. I didn't think this team had it in them.
Yeah, no, and I when Doval came in, I'm like, well, this was fun. But now here comes like the end, and I'm good to see some life from the offense. And then it just kept happening. The offense kept we grinding out really good at bats. A little bit of luck from Luciano, who decided in the right moment not to play defense.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point too. He was killing the Pirates all night long, and then he gave it back. So thank you.
Yeah.
By the way, Hayden, thanks for the super. I have to read it because he paid. God damn, whose hot glass of water on the right? Neil, buddy, some glasses.
Thanks, Hayden. Come anyway. But
as you were.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Just the infield hits, the walks, it was very much small ball. And it's that thing that was really annoying. If it was the shoe was flipped and you were watching as a Giants fan, I think I would have thrown something.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is, they're both in the same situation, more or less. They're both in 3rd place in division. As a matter of fact, now, yeah, they're both 23 and 26. Mm-hmm. So either war, us as Pirate fans looking at the Giants, are thinking that, and as Giants fans looking at the Pirates, it's we did this to the Pirates. We had the Pirates down 6-2, and they came back and beat us. So yeah, that's gotta be awful. And also, again, the way they did it. Pirates Twitter will be going off talking about how the Pirates are pirating, because that was the most piratey way to lose a 6-2 game, and the Giants did it.
Yeah, I mean, that was Doval turned into April Bednar.
And May Bednar turned into April Doval.
But Rogers was also really, really bad. Really good hit by Grandal. A really nice doubles in the gapper. Suwinski too. Suwinski, I think the results haven't been there, but this might just be me trying to find positives. But man, I think he's looked better and a lot more comfortable at the plate. That might be me trying to.
That might be fair,
but
we're grabbing. But at this point in time, you kind of are with Jack Suwinski. Now, granted, the numbers have supported, but when you face Jameson Time the way he is, that'll definitely bump up those numbers. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he's better than what he's been weeks before, so maybe things are turning for him. And hey, again, it's the Paul Skeens, Nick Gonzales effect. I mean, those two guys came up, and this team has been better ever since, hands down. So maybe there is something to Jack Suwinski turning the corner. This team needs him to. Mm-hmm. This team needs him to.
And the nice thing is that the Pirates have not been good, but the rest of the National League has been so bad that it doesn't matter right now. Like you were still a game out of the wild card right now. And even playing like close to 500 baseball the rest of the way, like probably puts you in a spot to compete for a wild card spot. And so you have to start building off of this,
Yeah.
And they have been you take 3 or 4 from the Cubs, you win the series against the Giants. Like there are positives you can build off of with this team. Like the pitching staff is just going to be good enough that you can survive a lot of this bad offense.
Absolutely. And what I want to say here also is this was a big win because of the fact it lines up next is Jared Jones and Paul Skeens. And you feel as confident as you can be that those two guys are going to pitch their ass off and do what you can do to win those 2 games. Tomorrow is Blake Snell also returned from the IL. So like tomorrow's a big pitching matchup. Could go either way. But then Thursday's Paul Skeens, like that matchup you feel is no game is a guarantee, right? But you feel like the Pirates are favored to win that one. So with tomorrow being such a coin flip and winning tonight, you see a path of 2 or 3 happening. That's why tonight's game of winning it was so important. They can get back-to-back, series victories. As you're talking about, like now you're starting to stack some wins. This is why you're starting to feel maybe some positive thoughts about the Pirates. So, and again, like this was a big for a May 21st victory. This was a big May 21st victory, I feel.
Well, we decided to, lose really badly for 30 games. Like these games have to matter and they have to matter a lot. And we kind of dug ourselves a hole, but yeah, like the offense, I don't think that the offense could have physically stayed as bad as they were just as a major league offense. I don't think that was possible as bad as I think it would be, but no, like you can see the inklings of a good team when Cruz is hitting like this. like Cruz when he's hitting like this, a superstar, and that 9th inning double was just a work of magic.
So just go into that. So it starts off Nick Gonzales grounding out, and again right away you're just like, I mean, it's the 9th inning. This team's going to lose anyways, regardless. Let's get this over with. Got to go to a post-game show. Pirates drop the ball, right? And then Jack Swinski's up, and that's a strikeout coming. He walks. And that's what I said. And the Giants were like, oh, we ain't messing around. They like almost immediately get the bullpen ready. Then Grandal doubles. So now you have guys on first and third. They make the change. They bring in the closer. Triolo walks. Then ji-hwan gets up. He singles. Andrew McCutchen gets up. He reaches. Brian Reynolds gets up. He ground out, but the scores. And then, let's get to the big guy. Oneil Cruz is up. What was going through your mind when Oneil Cruz is up to bat with 2 guys on, down 1 run to Dotel?
I think I was just saying.
I'm sorry, I keep saying Dotel.
I think my head was with him. Please just a hit over and over again, just a hit, because he is strikeout prone. Brian Reynolds just hit into a ground ball, like not a great hit. You just got lucky twice. 2 balls that could have been ground balls. I was like, please, just a base hit, just 1 base hit. That's all I was asking for. I didn't even need the 120 mile an hour double again, but I'll take it.
I was just in pure amazement. I was just like, and again, like we know what Oneil Cruz is. This could go either way. It easily could be a strikeout. Doval makes him look silly. Or it could be a home run or this. And like I said, when he hit that, and Greg Brown said it before I can even see it on StatCast, 121.5 miles an hour. That dude wanted to win this game. Like hands down. He wanted to win this game. He had 3 hits today, all 116 plus, 2 of them 120 plus. Like this is what's so okay, I'm not going to say the word great. What I'm going to say is people talk about exit velocities and like who cares about Oneil Cruz exit velocities and this and that. He is fun to watch. He is entertaining. Vince Carter didn't win any championships, but you know what? You've watched hundreds of hours of reels of his dunks because he does things that no other man in the world can do. And that's why Oneil Cruz is just so damn entertaining and fun to watch and talked about and hyped. Does the winning matter more? Yes. Does the production matter more? Yes. The production's also coming, by the way. It's there. But he does things that no one else in the world does. And you know what? That is absolutely entertaining. I want to see it. I want to go on YouTube and watch Oneil Cruz highlights all night long because it's fun, it's entertaining. And he does it again tonight.
But he's a unicorn player, and I don't think I've ever seen a player like him play for the Pirates. Not the most talented player I've ever seen, but
no one like him has played for any team. The closest is the Yankees because they have Judge
and Stanton. Yeah, like he hits the ball as hard.
Yeah,
as
but Stan runs. He runs like a 9-second 40 right now.
Yeah, and he's even losing a little bit of speed because of the ankle. He's still insanely fast. Like he's not the fastest guy in baseball anymore, but his range, he that dropped pop fly. It's crazy that he even got there before Suwinski did. I think Suwinski has to call him off, but Cruz gets there before Suwinski does, and he's running backwards. Like everything he does it's so cool.
Right. Yes. So again, then it goes into extras. Bednar comes in. You guys are all worried. I don't know why I say it. Bednar, he's clutch. He gets the job done. For those listening to the podcast, yes, there was a sarcastic eye roll. He gets the job done. Giants don't score. Now Pirates come up. And who's up the bat? Nicky G. What happens? Another RBI. This guy, I mean, we talk about clutch. Nick Gonzales has been absolutely clutch since coming up as well. And he wins the game. Nick Gonzales has gone to, is this guy even a major leaguer? He's not even a prospect anymore. We're dropping him off the list. He stinks to he's walking off the baseball game.
Yeah, no, it's Nick Gonzales. Again, I think I mentioned this the last time that we were on, and he just looks so much different at the plate. Every single time last year, you had zero confidence. He looked like he was overmatched. And now, I think his first hit was off a sweeper too. He's not hitting breaking balls well, but he is seeing them so much better. Like the strikeout rates are not there. The strikeout rates have dipped. And there's still a problem there, don't get me wrong. And he's going to have to adjust when MLB pitchers stop throwing him fastballs. But for what he's doing right now, it's awesome.
Yeah. I want to keep this good and upbeat in a sense. He's not hitting the breaking pitches, but I think the biggest point is like you mentioned, but he also doesn't look completely overmatched this year. He's fouling off a lot of them. He's staying alive. That's the difference. So will pitchers adjust? Absolutely. And again, I'm waiting to find his adjustment. We're going to learn a lot about Nick Gonzales, I feel like, this year. So, but so far, it's been great. It's absolutely been great. Now in the year, 282, 310, 462, a 108 weighted runs created plus. And he's doing the damn thing.
Yeah. I do have a question though, because I asked you this last time you were on. Is Bednar back now? Is Bednar
I'm not answering that.
What? Not answering that?
I'm not answering that. 2 reasons why I'm not. It's early still. I'm not comfortable saying Bednar's back still at all. But also, if you saw the tone of this game, every time I said this inning's the one, it wasn't the one. And the time I didn't say it, they scored 4 runs. So I'm not saying, for the sake of everyone, I'm not talking about Bednar if he's back. How's that? How's that for your answer?
A little bit cowardly, but I'll accept it.
I'll be a coward. All right. Neil, Is it time for sandwiches?
I think it's time for sandwiches.
Everybody, if you haven't done so yet, and even if you have, do it again. Hashtag raise it in the comments for your chance to win 2 Primanti Brothers sandwiches because the Pirates won. And if the Bucks win, you win. So go ahead and do so. Let me go ahead and get this up. Right now, we're currently at 100 entries. And while I do so, as always, if you haven't, go ahead and like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. You can hit the join button below. Also, check out our memberships. They start at 99 cents to $4.99. Each of them come with different perks. You see the people that are putting in the Primanti Brothers emojis in here right now. You can get that perk by just 99 cents. All the other emojis and such. We're up to 107. Come on, guys. Hashtag raise it. I'm doing it in 3, 2, 1. Who's it going to be this time, Neil?
Hopefully me.
This show looks more rigged by the day. Dale wins. Dale Clapper. Congrats. So with that being said, Dale, go ahead, DM us, any social media. All I need is the address to send this to, or you can email us, of course, at northshore9@gmail.com. And we'll get those, there they are. We'll get the, let me get rid of this. We'll get your free sandwiches, baby. So how's that, Neil? How's that for a post game?
Sounds good. I didn't know so many people were opinionated about my soccer jersey that I was wearing, but
it's all about the New Balance.
Yeah,
and the stash and the glasses. You're looking good, Neil. What can we say?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Always repping the Ireland national team. It's kind of blocked because of this. There you go.
There it is. Show, represent.
I don't tan,
right.
so I'm basically full-blown Irish.
Well, guys, it was a very fun game. Very fun post game. Appreciate everyone who joins as always. We're going to get out of here, though. We will be back tomorrow after the post game. Again, it is Jared Jones Day. Jared versus Blake Snell. That is must-see TV. I can't wait to watch that game. We'll see you back tomorrow, though, afterwards for that. Hopefully for some more sandwiches.
Sounds good.
We out of here, Neil?
I think we're out of here.
Let's do it. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.